Hey everyone, what's up? Uh, as you can see, my hair is wet and it's down because I just got out of the shower. Um, get out of the shower, immediately make a video for my channel. That is the vibe that we are on today. I do occasionally get comments from people, particularly from women, usually like normie women, if I can be allowed to use that term, being like, oh my god, what do you do with your hair, or whatever, and I'm always like, nothing bro, I literally just wash it, and that's about it, and they're always aghast at that. So yeah, the secret to having awesome long hair as a dude is to do absolutely nothing except wash it once a week and I guess brush it like every now and then, something like that. But yeah, I wanted to make another video to go through like my recent vinyl acquisitions because I've bought quite a few. The last time I tried to make one of these videos, I was shooting it on my actual camera, and my actual camera only shoots in 20-minute intervals. And I didn't think about that before I hit the record button, which was probably pretty stupid of me. Because I only got through like, I think like 5 records before the camera died. And now I'm doing this one on my phone instead because, well, I can see there's a timer right there, yeah, that tells me how long I've been recording. And we're already 2 minutes into this thing, so why don't we get started? I got a big pile over here right next to me to your right. It's also to my right, actually, that we're going to try and get through in one sitting. So starting off, we have Poignard. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, I'm not entirely sure, with their new album Riposte, or Riposte. This is a 2-piece traditional heavy metal, speed metal band from Quebec City, and I was a really big fan of their first release, so when I saw that they were putting out something new, I knew I had to have it. My friend Ellie actually picked this up for me from Le Knockout, which is a record store in Quebec City, so shout out Ellie, thank you for picking that up for me, really appreciate it. Yeah, I knew I had to have this, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it to Quebec City to get a copy of this before it sold out, so yeah, let's take a look at the record itself. As you can see, it is blood red. It's beautiful. I love that. And it's got this like sort of Japanese-esque art on the other side of the vinyl. It's funny because like she brought this to me at a show where I was literally, I guess, DJing. I was like taking care of the house music in between bands. I wasn't doing sound or anything, they just asked me to do it. It was a show at Bâtiment Set where they just recently opened a record store called Distro Frigo. It's really cool. You should definitely check it out if you're in the area. And we'll be getting to some of the albums that I picked up at Distro Frigo recently later in the video. And yeah, this is one of the records that I spun because they actually have like a record player hooked up to their sound system, and we were listening to this in between bands at that show. And then of course you have the lyric sheet here, and then on the back there's this really cool art with like a bloody knife. Yeah, I love that. Of course, let's see how long it takes for me to get this back in the sleeve. There we go. Really gotta thread the needle with this stuff sometimes. Also, I apologize for all the noise in the background. There is a fan and an AC unit going. It is June in Montreal. I I shouldn't even be saying sorry, because that's just the way it is here. It's frigid in the winter, and it's boiling in the summer. Here we go. Alright, actually the very next record is one that I got at Distro Frigo. It's one of my favorite records of all time, ever. Ratt, out of the Cellar. I love this album so much. You know, people love to talk shit about hair metal, and for good reason sometimes, you know, but as far as hair metal goes, man, this thing puts like a lot of other classic metal records to shame. The guitars are so good, every riff is fantastic. There's no paper sleeve for this, so it's literally just in here in the cardboard, and you know, I think this is like an original printing from the 80s, which is crazy. Because yeah, the sleeve is a little bit banged up. You can see it there on the edges. I mean, I got this thing for 20 bucks. Yeah, amazing album. If you have not heard this record, you are missing out, because like every song on this thing is a banger. I think Ratt's other big album, I think it's called Invasion of Your Privacy, that one gets a lot of attention. I don't think it's as good. Out of the Cellar puts that record to shame. Up next we have this other Distro Frigo purchase. I went to Bâtiment twice in the last couple months, and I bought records at both instances that I was there. This is a split between my buds in Hard Charger, who are from Fredericton, New Brunswick, and Sotos, who I actually don't know. It's a 12-inch split, but it's actually like on a full vinyl record, so I don't know why it's called that. Oh, I guess I'm just like learning this as I'm making this video, that like, yeah, there's 7 inches are the small ones, so 12 inches obviously the big one. Go figure. Ooh, and look at this. It's got this really nice, like, I don't know what the technical term is for this pattern, but it kind of reminds me of like those candies that you would get in gumball machines in like hospitals and stuff, in like a hospital waiting room. You know the candy I'm talking about? I don't know. You can't respond in real time, so why am I even asking that question? But yeah, I'm excited to check out the other side of this, because I'm very familiar with a lot of Hard Charger's work, but not this other band. I've never heard of them before. I wonder if they are also from the Maritimes. I will be interested to find that out. Get in there, you. Yeah, this one set me back 15 bucks. Worthwhile purchase. Up next, we have a very interesting one. Oh, I picked up 2 by accident. This is Hellhammer with Death Fiend. Another Distro Frigo purchase. Yeah. This also looks like a pretty old pressing, because the sleeve looks a little weathered. Particularly on the side there. There's a few like little blemishes. But who knows? You never know with these things, unless you're like an expert, which I am far from. So, and let's see here. On the inside, we have the record, which is just black. Yeah, it's like basically the same thing on both sides. And then in the sleeve, there's also the lyric sheet, which has a lot of like a history actually of the band on the inside. The songs, which would later become the Death Fiend and Triumph of Death demos, were recorded on June 10th and 11th, 1983 at the Grave Hill Bunker. This was Hellhammer's rehearsal room, a nuclear-hardened air raid shelter underneath Kindergarten Sunnerrain in the farm village of Berkwil, Switzerland, some 14 kilometers to the north of Zurich. At the time, Hellhammer's lineup consisted of Tom Gabriel Warrior from Satanic Slaughter, Guitar Holocaust, and Dam Buster vocals, Steve Warrior, Savage Damage, Infernal Battle... these words. Infernal Battle Bass and Overkill Throat, and Bruce Day, Blood Hunter, Sledgehammers on Anvils. This lineup had been playing together since November 1982. I always love these old school, typically like black metal, like first wave black metal, or like speed metal bands who would always come up with like very creative names other than guitar, bass, and drums. You don't see it that often anymore. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but like, there it is. There's a lot of text on the back of this, and then there's a cool photo of the band down there on the bottom corner. And yeah, then all the lyrics are on the other side. So that's a pretty cool one. Very happy to have that in my collection. And that is from Prowlin' Death Records. Okay, you go back in there. And you go back in there. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. This one also only cost me $15, which is nice for a record from a legendary band like that. And then we have another Distro Frigo record, where this is the last one I think from this pile. And this is a cool one. This is the Metal Massacre 14 from Century Media Records. Oh wait, sorry, I'm an idiot. Not Century Media. Metal Blade. Better label. And this one has a lot of cool names on the track list. It's obviously a compilation record, as you are probably already aware if you're watching this. And it's got my friends Metallion here. They're the first ones. The Traveler. Then there's Gatekeeper with Bell of Tarantia. They're a really sick power metal band from BC. And we also got Savage Master on here with The Ripper in Black and Crypt Sermon. Fucking love Crypt Sermon. They're so fucking good, with Will of the Ancient Call. And the other bands on here who I'm actually not familiar with include Noctum, Assassin's Blade, Cobra, Stone Dagger, Outcast, and Corsair, all of which I will probably be getting into at some point. And then inside the sleeve, the paper sleeve actually comes in like with the Metal Blade logo, which is cool. I really love that. I love it when it's not just like a simple white sleeve, because then you can tell which record it belongs to. And yeah, the vinyl itself is just regular old black, good old black. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I don't think it's a lyric sheet on the inside. It looks more just like general information. Oh God. This one is giving me more trouble than I thought it would. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, it's just got like the bands and photos of them. You can see all of them here. There's Metallion, The Boys. Gatekeeper, I think, is, yeah, that's Gatekeeper right there in the middle. Pretty cool stuff. And then on the back, Savage Master. I opened for those guys, I think it was last year. That was fun. And yeah. Which one's Crypt Sermon? That's Crypt Sermon right there. Sorry, I can't read it backwards. Very cool stuff. Yeah, I think that does it for the pile of records from Distro Frigo. By the way, they call it that because part of the record shop like their storage. One of the shelves they have is a fridge, like a decommissioned fridge, that they just like turned into a shelf. You can tell it's a very DIY spot. I love it. I think it's the coolest thing. They had Distro Frigo active as just like, it was just like a fridge in the back of the venue where they would put like zines and tapes, and there were books in there and stickers and like merch from local bands who wanted to provide that sort of thing. And it's only after they recently bought like this huge collection, a couple of different collections actually, from collectors here in Montreal, that they decided to open like an actual, I say actual in quotes, but like a record store. It's kind of interesting because like when you go into the venue, there's like it's like this big open room with the stage at the front, obviously, and then in the back is where the sound booth is, and it's located up on a platform that you have to like walk up the steps to, and then it's to the left of that, on that same platform, where all the records are located. It's a very like tiny, tight quarters sort of space, but I love it. Their selection is crazy, honestly. So yeah, if you ever get a chance to check that out, I highly recommend it. Up next, we have a band who I booked for Speed Trap Volume 2. That was earlier this year, back in April. They were the headliner of the Saturday show, and that is Freeways with Dark Sky Sanctuary. Now, I love this album. This album is so fucking good, dude. Like, I can't put it into words. Well, I can put it into words because I'm pretty sure I reviewed this thing on my blog, Where Strides the Behemoth. A lot of people really love True Bearings, which is Freeway's first record, and it is a very good album, but I actually prefer Dark Sky Sanctuary. And yeah, the record itself is black. I love the old school vibe in the middle there of the art, and then on the other side, it's just like a dartboard. I think that's really cool. That's a cute little touch. It's very creative. And then on the inside of the sleeve, we also have the lyric sheet. I love the simplicity of this. You know, this is so elegant. It's so well designed. I love the font and the typeface of the logo up here combined with the album title, and then this red line. Like, this is like A+ design. I fucking love it. And then the other side kind of looks like a carpet. I think it actually is a photo of a carpet. That's what it looks like. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And then on the bottom here, there's like a little tag. It's like, it's not physically there. It's like part of the design. It says Freeways Heavy Rock Band, established 2014. The seal of quality, 100% rock. Released 2024 by Dying Victims Productions. That's the label. I was trying to remember what the label was. It's Dying Victims. Fantastic label. I love a lot of their stuff. Yeah, look at that little tag there. That's cool. Love the way that looks. And yeah, I also love this band photo on the back. Classic. And yeah, they were phenomenal. Like the Speed Trap Volume 2. I was honestly a little bit disappointed by the turnout for that show. There's a lot of different factors that went into why this year's edition of the fest was not quite on the same level as the first year, that I'm not going to get into in this video. But Freeways, man, they kicked ass. They are the only band I've ever seen get asked to do like 5+ encores. The only other band that comes close is Skullfist. The last time I saw them, they did, I think, 3 encores. That was fun, but yeah, Freeways were like, there was this whole thing about like, you know, we couldn't go past a certain time frame at Piranha Bar because like they, it's not a curfew thing, but they will like charge you more to rent it, basically, if like you go beyond 11:30. And the sound guy, Alain, fucking loved Freeways so much that he did not give a shit he was like, fuck it, let them go for as long as they wanted, as long as the crowd loves it, like we're good. And he let those guys play like almost like an hour-long set, when really they were only supposed to play for like 30 to 40 minutes. So that goes to show you just how awesome that band was. I really hope I get a chance to see them again at some point. They're playing a show in Ottawa this month, actually. I might try and go to that if it's possible. And coming up next, we're over the 20-minute mark at this point, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through the rest of what's here, because I don't want this to take up too much damn space on my phone. My phone, listen, I love you. You are very important for my daily tasks, but you are old as hell, and you do not have very much space on you. So, yeah, this is Parking Life, the new album from Seum, everyone's favorite Montreal sludge metal trio that only has a bassist, no guitars. I really love this record. Here's the back with the three guys, Fred, Piotr, and Gaspard. I did the album watch party with these guys. Like they asked me to like compile a playlist of like classic sludge, doom, and crust songs, kind of like interspliced with the songs from this record. This is their third album, and every time these guys release a new record, it always like surprises me. There's always something new that they have in store that I was not expecting. This record is like the most rock and roll of the three. The other two, I would say, are way more rooted to like firmly planted in sludge metal with like some rock elements here and there, but this one is like they just took the brakes off and they were like, let's be just a full-on rock and roll band. And it's really cool. There's like some clean singing on here from Gaspard that we've never really heard from him before, and yeah, it works. I really love this design on the record itself. I don't know what the term is for this. It's not splattered, but it's cool. It's like all purple and like white and black. It's almost like a radioactive cow. I wonder if you milked this cow, would you get purple milk? I don't know. But yeah, really, really good record. If you haven't heard it yet, I highly recommend it. Also, it's incredibly short. It's only like 25 minutes long, I think. It actually might be Seum's shortest album yet. But I really love it. I think it's great. Also, it was recorded and mixed. I think it was mixed by the same guy. Gotta double check that. No, it was recorded by my buddy Julian from the band Lobotomite at Blackgate Studio, which was formerly the studio that was owned by one of the guys from Spectral Wound. Not anymore. So yeah, cool details about that album. I do have some more records here, but honestly, I think that might be enough for one installment of this. I haven't been doing these videos super regularly on this channel just because like finding the time to set aside to do this has been really hard with all the different things I got going on, but I would like to try and get back into a better habit of doing this on a more regular basis, because I've bought a lot of records in the last couple of years, and I think I could make several of these videos and still have plenty of records left over to talk about or to show off. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. I hope you liked listening to me ramble about these different vinyl acquisitions, and yeah, we'll do another one in the future. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the future. Peace out.